Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in Genesis chapter 11. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the chapter heading. So, all men speak the same language. They build the Tower of Babel. The Lord confounds their language and scatters them all over the earth. The generations of Shem include Abraham, whose wife is Sarai. Abraham leaves Ur and settles in Haran. We're going to go into verse 1. Excitingly, we're in the Tower of Babel. Genesis moves along really quickly, I like to add. So, verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. It's such a strong introduction in Genesis chapter 11, just that first verse. Because you know what's going to happen. It's like very unsubtle foreshadowing. It's very cool. And verse 2, and it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. Verse 3, and they said one to another, Go, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime they had for mortar. So I was wrong in saying that the lands were divided against each other. Because they all had the same language, they were actually really strong in communication with each other, which is crazy. Okay. And we're going to go into verse 4. And they said, Go to, let us build a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And verse 5. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And verse 6. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now with nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Verse 7. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So I think this is interesting. There's two ways you can take this. You can say God was. This is a really stupid take, but you could say, oh, God was just scared of them, doing being unified and building something, doing whatever they set their minds out to do. But the other take, and the more proper and strong take, I would say, is that God wanted to make sure that they were advancing properly and that they didn't gain unity too early in their mortal experience. So we're going to go to verse 7. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Verse 8. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Verse 9. And therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth. And from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. And they remember the Tower of Babel. They gave it a name, but um it's interesting. They were prepared to be scattered abroad across the face of the earth, and and they were unified in language, and they were like, let us create a name that we can remember, even though we're spread across the world, and that the Tower of Babel is that name. Okay, verse 10. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. Verse 11. And Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years and begat sons and daughters. Verse 12. And Arphaxad lived 35 years and begat Selah. Verse 13. And Arphaxad lived after he begat Selah 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Selah lived 30 years and begat Eber. And Selah lived after he begat Eber 403 years and begat sons and daughters. Verse 16. And Eber lived 430 years and begat Peleg. Verse 17. And Eber lived after he begat Peleg 430 years and begat sons and daughters. Verse 18. And Peleg lived 30 years and begat Reu. 19. And Peleg lived after he begat Reu 209 years and begat sons and daughters. 20. And Reu lived 230 years and begat Serug. And Reu lived after he begat Serug 207 years and begat sons and daughters. 22. And Serug lived 30 years and begat Nahor. Verse 23. And Serug lived after he begat Nahor 200 years and begat sons and daughters. Verse 24. And Nahor lived 920 years and begat Terah. And verse 25. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years, and he begat sons and daughters. In verse 26. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Verse 27. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran begat Lot. Now these are the generations, verse 27. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before his father in Terah, verse 28, in the land of his nativity in Ur of the Chaldees. 29. And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. And the daughter of Haran, and the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. Verse 30. But Sarai was barren, she had no child. So it's already introducing Abraham, and his name starts as Abram, and under the descendants of, let's go back here, Reu, the descendants of Reu, and Arphaxad, and Reu and Abraham and his wife Sarai are introduced here in the end of Genesis chapter 11. We're going to keep going in verse 30. But Sarai was barren, she had no child. In verse 31. And took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran his son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife. They went forth from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan, and they came unto Haran to dwelt there. In verse 32. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. And that was the end of Genesis chapter 11. We're going to head into Genesis chapter 12. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next live stream. Thank you.